you just to share your thoughts about the last couple of weeks. Given the fact you hadn't played a match for a while, you went in and did a number on one team, and then you did a number on a second team last week, and how you saw the graph in terms of improvement over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, it was a frustrating period, to go so long without having played games. I think the last game was the 11th of December against Bath, and then to wait all the way around to that Montpellier game. So I think there was an element of frustration that was taken out on Montpellier because the boys are frustrated, but equally we benefited from that window as well. It was almost like having a mini pre-season, but normally at Leinster your pre-seasons are without your best players because they've been on tour or something. So we had like a mini pre-season with all the best players, and that allows you to develop a real sense of competition within training and cohesion and confidence. And I think both, it wasn't perfect in either of the performances, but to put, that number of points on two teams was excellent, really, and a reflection of how hard the players had trained in that window.
Now, I know the round of 16 is a bit away yet, but the whole concept of it, it's a two-leg affair. You're playing against a team who've caused you problems in the past. Matches between the two of you have been really good. Are you a big fan of the concept, or do you see Connacht as being a big threat?
Well, I'm pretty open-minded about the concept. I mean, the concept, it's not something I've come across personally, although it did occur in England where the bottom Premiership team would play the top Championship team in a two-legged affair. I remember watching those games and speaking to people involved. I had something similar it's not the same, but something similar in 2015 when it came to that Super Saturday and England went into a game needing 20 points to win against France. And, everyone then starts looking at the scoreboard and tries to do the maths from what needs to be done. Do you know what I mean? And it was definitely something I learnt then about how to try and keep players not distracted by the scoreline, but focused on the performance. And I think from our point of view, a huge amount of respect for Connacht, for the environment that they play in, for the ground, for the people and how much they care. So it's a very, very tricky last 16 game for us for sure. But we'll look forward to it because I think from an Irish point of view, the Six Nations will finish, and fingers crossed, COVID permitting, there's going to be two fantastic crowds. They're going to be entertained by seeing the best of Irish talent go head to head against each other. So I don't think it gets any better, really.
And just the last question for me, if you don't mind, just in relation to the importance of the next couple of weeks. Given the fact that your wider squad, a lot of players in that maybe haven't had an awful lot of game time, and how important that's going to be starting this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually playing against one of the best attacking teams in the competition at Cardiff, down at their place. Excellent attack, really well coached on the Astro down there. And you're right, we've got players who haven't played a lot, and a lot of players who are on the fringes of the Ireland squad as well, who need some game time. Whether it's Harry Byrne or Ross Byrne, Kieran Frawley in there, Jamie Osborne coming through, so looking forward to seeing him play. Luke McGrath missing out. All these lads have all got points to prove to Andy Farrell. Ross Maloney just missing out again. So looking forward to seeing how they all play. But it's great that we've got the games. To be honest, one of the upsides of the games cancelled over Christmas, it means we've got more games during the Six Nations window, which means that fringe squad, the lads who haven't had a chance in the last couple of weeks, get to play consistently, and then that sets us up for what's going to be an exciting run into the season, both in Europe and the URC.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Hi Stuart, how are you? It's Bernard here.
Hi.
Stuart, just a quick one on the injury update issue today, and in particular, I suppose Josh van der Fleer, minor groin injury is described as that Wales game, of course, the Six Nations just around the corner. I know he'll be assessed by the Irish medical staff, but do you think he's a doubt for the Six Nations at this stage?
No.
Very confident.
Well, I spoke to him yesterday. I'm pretty confident. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in camp now, but I'm hopeful that he'll be fine. But we'll see how it plays out. But we certainly, when we took him off, we weren't. We did it precautionary. He seems to be fine, and we'll see how he goes. I'm a pint glass half full kind of guy.
Good good to hear. That'll put a smile on Irish fans' faces this tea time. Just to follow up on Michael saying the Connacht game, obviously the venue for that game is still to be decided. It could be the Aviva, obviously it could be the RDS. Where would your preference lie for that big game, that big blockbuster game?
Well, to me, the only game I'll be focusing on is the game away from home first of all, because that'll set the tone for the whole thing. You know, we've got to go to their place first. Now, whether it's the RDS or the Aviva, for me, it's not irrelevant, but obviously the big factor in this home and away fixture is putting performances on a weekly basis. And I think you start getting too far ahead of yourself and thinking about, well, we're just going to wait till we get them to home or whatever. Then you're potentially going to come unstuck in the away game. So I won't even get my mind exercised about where we're playing away at home until the time comes. The thing that matters is for us having a good lead into that game, to go well during this period now in the URC, to pick up points on the board, and then all roads will lead towards that game for sure away from home, and that'll be the sole focus.
Good stuff, Stuart. Thanks, Aline.
Michael Glenn, please. Thank you.
Hi, Stuart. Did Josh come to you and say he was feeling it, or did you notice, or did he want to stay on or anything like that?
What do you mean in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned it at half time, so we just took him off as a precaution.
Yeah, straight away. Okay. We were just chatting to Michael Alatoa there. We hadn't spoken to him before. In terms of getting to know players in this environment with COVID and bubbles and that, what's it like? How do you get to know a guy's personality, and what have you made out of him off the rugby pitch, away from the training pitch and the rugby pitch?
Well, he's been a fantastic addition to the squad, number one, both on and off the field. He's got high levels of integrity, his personality and his journey that he's had is fascinating. He's fitted in brilliantly into the Leinster environment. To go from Australia to play in New Zealand, the route he's taken to get there, to become the captain of Samoa, and then to join Leinster. It's a remarkable story, and he's just really respected by the whole group. With the way in which he trains, the way in which he conducts himself, the way in which he plays. I can't speak highly of him. Really, really good guy.
And in the November window and this international window, is he one of the guys that will become a kind of a group leader in the absence of most of the internationals? Did you see that last November, and are you expecting it again, if so? Yeah,
I think last November it was probably hard for him. He was still finding his feet, still settling into the team and earning the respect by playing well and training well. But now that he's got that, I'm pretty certain he'll come to the fore in this next block, and that's why he's so invaluable for us. Both as a player but also as a person. We've got some great leaders there, though. The likes of Ross and Lukey and Reese and everyone else. But Mike adds to the mix for sure.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Best of luck against Cardiff.
Thank you. Don Swift or Jerry Curry, if you have a question for Stuart. Or if not, Michael or Jerry, you come back in there.
Hi, Stuart.
Yeah, Jerry.
Sorry, I was just wondering, Jimmy O'Brien's opportunity, obviously with James Lowe out injured, he's definitely stepped up to the mark and taken his opportunity, would you say? And beyond,
I'd say. And beyond. I thought it was an exceptional performance. Obviously the team played well, but hard work pays off, and Jimmy's been consistently good in training now for 12 to 18 months. He's really impressed me from all the positions he plays. His versatility is incredible. He could play 10, 12, 13 wing or fullback. He's a natural footballer. He's got pace. He's got speed and speed endurance. He's got a good feel for when to pass and when to run. He's a great defender, and he works hard and keeps his feet on the ground. So, what's not to like? So yeah, I'm just delighted for him. Really, often when young players are waiting for their opportunity, you have to seize them when they come. And I thought he seized his chance brilliantly. Not just at the 4 tries, but everything else he did in the game. It really was a very good performance.
But just finally for me, it must be a pretty happy camp again in terms of getting in 2 excellent games of rugby, and sort of most of the international guys coming through okay and getting set up for obviously the URC and then games further on. It's a happy enough camp.
Yeah. Although there's a lot of lads who are frustrated as well. You know, we had 35 lads training today, and that's with 18 gone. So, I think it was 18. But anyway, the sheer competitiveness of the squad means that there's lads who haven't played in the last few weeks, both through the cancellations, but also the not getting selected. So they wouldn't be overly happy, but they're happy enough because now they know they've got the chance to prove. And the cancellations during Christmas has actually meant that we've got more games now, which is better for them and obviously better for us as coaches. So we want to make sure we push on now. We're playing against a really good team in Cardiff. So it's a completely different challenge the way they attack, playing on the Astro down there. Their game against Toulouse was cancelled. Their last game they lost 36-33 against Harlequins, which is a brilliant game of attacking rugby. So all roads lead to Cardiff, to be honest, number one, and then we'll see where the cancellations and the new fixtures set us up. But we turned the page quite quickly this morning. You know, we had a good debrief of the Bath game, but equally turned the page quickly to Cardiff because that game's gone.
Thanks, Stuart.
Stuart, it's Don here. Some people would say that whenever you see a Leinster match comes off the training field. So if you could bear with me on this question. I know that you wanted to score a lot of points against Montpellier in the RDS, but there was 2 awarded penalties, and you looked intent to go for the line, but then tapped. Now, one in situation, Ronan Kelleher walked over to the ball boy, took the towel to dry the ball. But it was a tap. It was almost like a decoy runner in a way. Is that something that's planned or is it spontaneous?
Do you want me giving all the game plan away here, Don? Good analysis. Well done.
Thank you. Is it valid?
There's valid parts to everything that we do, and it's not all coached. Clearly, you can't script everything in rugby by any stretch of imagination. What you try and do is give them options and frameworks. And you know, did we plan for Johnny Sexton to kick to Jimmy O'Brien? You know, that wasn't planned. You know, but the opportunity was there. We have it in the locker, and Jimmy was unmarked, and Johnny spotted him, and it led to a try. You know, we in the game, I think they kicked off to us when they had a man in the bin. We ran it out. The next time we chipped it out. The third time we crossfield kicked it out. You know, that's for me is one of the most rewarding pieces of the game against Bath was that adaptability, ability to play in different ways. So whether it's different ways of attacking the line when you get a penalty, it's all part of the jigsaw that we're trying to create.
Okay, Don, before Stuart gives any more secrets away, thanks for that. Michael Corkin, you trying to get back in there? Sorry, if not, no problem, but...
I was going to ask a question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bear with me one. Sorry about this, but I think it casting my mind back, Stuart, during the earlier stages of COVID, you had mentioned, I think at some stage, and correct me if I'm wrong, just about collaborating or doing some work with the Crusaders and trying to learn from them and their, you know, what they do in their operation and everything like that. Is something like that, was that instrumental in the likes of Michael Alalato coming, you know, bringing that kind of mindset, that kind of winning mindset, that kind of help with him settling into Dublin to be part of another winning culture?
I think yeah, we did. It was right at the start of the first lockdown, and we built this relationship with the Crusaders. Mike was looking for a new option. Leinster came in for him, and I think I'm not certain this happened, but I think it might have had a part to play. Mike goes and speaks to the coaching staff of Crusaders and says, "Listen, I'm thinking about leaving. This is an option." Crusaders coaching staff, you know, might turn around and go, "Well, you know what? We've met them, or we've virtually met them. You know, we think they're good guys. We think you'd benefit there." Perhaps that has a part to play. It's all about, for me, retention and recruitment of players is all about the environment that you create. You know, and word gets around. If you create a good environment, good coaching, good S&C, good support for the players, good environment, good values, good leadership. Players, when you're trying to recruit or retain talent, will often do the homework, understandably. You know, And what we want to do is create an environment that if there are players who'd like to come, or our players would like to retain, we make it very hard for those who want us to leave. We make it very hard for them to leave, and we make it hopefully attractive for those who want to come, because not just because of winning trophies or trying to get to finals or the ambition of the club, but also just the environment that we create. And hopefully that was part to play for Mike, and if the Crusaders coach should help in that regard, then that's great.